Studios in Oklahoma City. This is an OU update with Jason Kersey. I'm Jenni Carlson. Jason, lost to Baylor, big loss to Baylor last week for Oklahoma, and obviously questions start to be asked, where is this program right now with 2 losses and only a couple games to play? You wrote in our Sunday paper about the state of the program. What would you put your finger on most as diagnosing problems for this program right now?
Well, I think first and foremost with this team this year, when it comes to the offense, the quarterback play has just not been very good. It hadn't been very consistent, and I think that that's been the biggest difference between the last few years with Landry Jones and this year. But as far as the program as a whole goes, you can see in several benchmark areas, from week ranked in the top 10 to overall record, Big 12 record, number of All-Americans, number of national award winners, all those things have taken a steep decline over the last 5 years, which sort of leads me to believe that this program is certainly not what it once was.
Well, you talk about All-Americans and those sorts of things. Draft picks. I mean, it wasn't too long ago that Oklahoma had multiple first-round high draft picks. Mm-hmm. Now, you'd have to look far and wide to find a guy that's a for sure draft pick. Right,
yeah. On this team, certainly, I couldn't, pick one guy that I think is definitely a first-round draft pick on this team. But interestingly, the number of draft picks is actually the average draft pick is a little bit up, strangely, over the last few years. I think a lot of that has to do with you count the last 5 years, you count the 2010 draft, which includes Bradford, even though he didn't play in 09. So that may be a little skewed. But yeah, as far as this team goes right now, I couldn't name you a first-round draft pick on this team.
Well, you mentioned offense, and a lot of people are talking about play calling and game planning, obviously, as Josh Heupel is under fire. Bob Stoops, you actually asked him earlier this week during his press conference just how much of the offensive struggles is pinned on play calling and game planning.
Well, whether it is or not, again, it isn't something that I'm going to acknowledge publicly. That's something that we'll work through in the office with the coaches, and so. But it's always fair to say some's always, there's blame to go around to everybody, but also sometimes when you're getting beat up front, it doesn't matter what you call. You're going to be an ugly play caller when the defense is playing a lot better than you.
Well, how much validity is there to what Bob Stoops said there about the fact that, if you're not able to block, if you're not able to run, if you're not able to pass, play calling, game planning becomes a lot more difficult?
I mean, I think that there's certainly some validity to that. Baylor's defense was just a lot better than OU's offense, and that was sort of the bottom line. But there were still things that you sort of look at and you wonder if maybe they could have done differently. And just from his answer there, and from some of the other things he said, he's never going to say it. But I think that there are definitely concerns about the play calling, and I think that that's something that they might address in the offseason.
All right, thanks, Jason. Sure, stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.